have some update and sad news. We did find the young girl who went in after her brother. We found her in the area we thought we'd be looking for. So she's been removed, the family's been notified, and they're taking her to one of the local hospitals. So that's now, we're still looking for the young man that went in. We still have some issues now with water, ice, and we've moved out. So hopefully it's going to go fairly quick. We just don't know on time-wise, just because of still the conditions that we have going on in the water. We don't want any public down here yet, because we still have a lot of trucks here. We anticipate that we could be here another 12 hours. We just don't know at this time, and we're just still maintaining a dive team from Minnehaha County. We have the Sioux Falls Fire Department, Sioux Falls Police Department, Rural Mental Ambulance is involved, Public Works is involved, the Parks Department. It's an operation that spans across all city departments to still locate this missing. So much water flowing last night. We were able to shut off the water so it's not as bad as it was last night, but last night, keep in mind, we had an awful lot of water flowing. The water was higher, and so that created an area for someone to move quite a distance, especially when it narrows in and funnels, and it will push a body a lot further along.
Is that where the other person went in the water too?
All three went in up here. We just don't know where we're gonna locate him yet, and we're starting again searching from the top all the way down, just because of the amount of debris in the water, the currents, the undertow in the water. Even though we've shut down a lot of the water coming in, it's still going to be an issue of where we're going to find him, or where he's going to be located at.
Have you been able to establish whether the boy definitely went in the water or was just kind of obscured by the foam?
Oh, the 6-year-old?
Yeah.
We don't know quite. We've heard multiple stories of how the 6-year-old went in the water, so we don't really have an exact cause of why he went in the water. Although last night, the foam that you see here, last night it was up to 10 feet deep. So we're not sure if he might have not seen where he was walking or just slipped and fell. It was also cold, icy. The granite is very slippery when it's wet, so we're just not sure what caused him to fall into the water.
How murky is that water that divers are in?
The divers are going in zero visibility water, which means you can't see your face. It's all by feel, so it's a very slow process. There's a lot of debris in the water that's going to slow up their process too. So it's just they couldn't go in with the ice for a lot of reasons, but the ice and the water moving, it does create problems. So they went in today.
How many divers have you had in there?
I don't know. I can find out, but I don't know. Okay. And they're rotating out just like we're rotating out crews.
When you say there's debris in there, what do you mean by debris?
There can be anything from logs, trees, rebar, things from 20 or 30 years ago that could still be in the water. Just because if you look at this, where the construction is, there could be just about anything in this water. The other thing we're working with is a stress factor in our firefighters and law enforcement officers. They've been down here. It's going to be almost a 24-hour operation so far. We're expecting another 12 hours. That we also have been moving and rotating crews out so that we can work on, make sure that they don't get overstressed, and also ensure that they're still healthy with the low temperatures and hypothermia.
How is the girl's family doing?
I talked to the father. The mother was going back home. She's returning back now to Sioux Falls. I talked to the father, and quite literally, just like anybody else, they're still in a state of shock. And our prayers are with them, and we're just trying to help them cope as best as we can. We've used our fire chaplains with the family. It's going to be a long, slow process for them.
How many eyes do you have on the water right now as they continue to look for the other man in the water?
Everybody here is essentially eyes on water, and so that we can look in. And it's not going to be like on TV shows. We're looking for maybe something as small as a knee, a patch of clothing. So, and with the speed of this water, and it's still very turbulent, it changes so much that it makes it very difficult.
If I could just follow up on that last question I asked. I know the police chief had said that there's even a possibility that the boy could have just been wet from the foam. Do we know he actually went in the water and got pulled out? Has that been confirmed?
My understanding is when I saw him, he looked wet. Okay. But I can't confirm that it was foam or not, but I believe I've heard several things. I think he went in.
Okay.
And honestly, with the amount of foam we had, he's probably the only one. to know, but everybody went in after him, so the assumption is he probably fell in. But that's an assumption again.
Is that foam any kind of a chemical hazard to the divers or something?
We are worried about the exposure to the foam because it is some type of runoff. We've had it here for years and years. It's just deeper than it's been before, so we're worried about that with our firefighters because they've been in this, and also the divers. We had a hazmat crew out. I haven't heard the specifics on what it is, but we're looking at exposures to that foam.
Any injuries or anything?
We haven't had any injuries. If you'll watch last night, the crews that we had down were all tethered off because we were worried about our own people falling into the water. So we keep everybody back. Everybody has personal flotation devices on as they get close to the water. But we're taking the same precautions we tell the public when they're at the falls. Don't get too close. So we have to watch out for our own people too.
You mentioned the thickness of the foam. How deep was it where they fell roughly? I know it's lower now.
At one point, it was over 6 feet deep, right in this area. Now because we've shut down the amount of water coming through, and we've been trying to remove as much foam as possible, it's down, but last night it was significant, and it builds up very quickly too. The ice that has been removed has in some cases been almost 2 feet thick, and that's all been removed out with the help of private contractors. We had to bring a crane in. This crane you see, because we couldn't reach it, the crane actually broke through the ice and then it was pulled out, and that's all been with the help of Public Works and private contractor.
How deep was the water where the girl was?
I'm not exactly sure, but this area, because it's down further, I'm guessing anywhere from 5 to maybe 8 feet deep. I'm not exactly sure, but that would be my estimate. We did measure it earlier. In some areas was as shallow as that 6 foot range last night.
Was there a lot of ice where she was at?
The ice was all removed, and that might have helped locate the body because anything under the ice, obviously, we can't see. So they removed all this ice, and you'll see it stacked up. That was a major undertaking that was started last night at about 8 o'clock, and it's been going nonstop since then. The other thing we had to do is bring in, and you can see the road that was made, this makeshift road, truckloads of special mix of clay and asphalt, because we had to support the equipment so the equipment wouldn't fall in the water too. So essentially it was a makeshift project that was all coordinated all at one time with all these organizations coming together and having a successful operation in the sense that we could find her, and now we will locate him as soon as we can. I don't know anything more than that. I can explain more things to you, but that's essentially what we know right now.
Can you talk a little bit about the initial response yesterday with the
Sure.
water rescue team, how they were dispatched, how that works?
Yeah, that's a good question. The call came initially in at 6:02 that the initial call came in that I heard was a 4-year-old boy, which was incorrect. It was a 6-year-old boy. Mother went in after him. That was incorrect. It was actually his sister. But what we do is we have specialized teams on Sioux Falls Fire Rescue that are trained for swift water rescue, ice rescue, and they're deployed automatically. So when you see a lot of trucks, they're coming in with all their specialized equipment to enter the water. So the suits that you see our firefighters in, the bright yellow, they look like dive suits, are actually exposure suits so they can operate in this almost 0 degree water, 0 degree Celsius water or freezing water. So they can work in that temperature for limited lengths of time. So they're trained. The boats that we have are all specially designed for water type rescue operations so that they're a nice stable platform to work off of, and everything is that they've been taught is to national standards for this type of rescue operation or recovery.